Who's got the tightest end in the NFL today on SB Fantasy Football?
It was a long wait for it to go live, and then it was okay. It was all right.
The marginal payoff. And we're live.
Barely.
Welcome to the SB Fantasy Football Podcast with your pals Alan and Rapid Dave. I'm Alan.
I'm RD. What's up, buddy?
Yo, just living the dream, brother. How about you?
Oh, same. Getting alerts saying my packages won't be here till like tomorrow or the next day. Yada 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 yada. What are you gonna do? So
wait.
Yeah, that's nothing else you can do. So,
Yeah.
You
could write a strongly worded letter to the delivery company and be like, "Hey, dear sir or madam."
Dear sir or madam. We're getting so close to football. Preseason football starts on a week from tomorrow.
What?
We're so close to what was it, training camp? People started getting training camp last week.
It's going.
And we're getting there today. The reason I know about the Cowboys or whatever, because they were talking about it on the ticket, but everybody else, I was going to talk about it last week. I was like, oh, man, it'd be crazy, and then just time flies. So
football's going on and is happening.
So close. Makes you nervous, though. But draft day is the best day ever. But you do get nervous when you start thinking about, how are you going to royally screw up this draft this year?
I can't wait.
There's always a way.
I'm hoping we get it's been a couple years where we get the super drunk RD where at the end of the draft you offer half your team for one player.
All that I asked for Antonio.
It was Antonio Brown. Yeah,
Antonio Brown.
You offered over half your team.
He had a great year.
Look, I want to give you my top 5 picks.
It was
for
top
Antonio
5. I think it
Brown.
was I kept one person out of the top 5,
and you can pick any 4 players you want to throw in with them. I don't even care who they are.
Just take them off my hands.
And he's like, "Nah, I'm good." It's like, you sure?
Yeah, that was the other thing. You say that I acted crazier and a little drunkenly. But the guy didn't even take the trade.
No.
And the team wasn't terrible. It just wasn't, but I wanted that one player. For some reason that year I wanted that one player, but oh well. Today we're talking tight ends. This is your 2024 tight end rankings. We're going to go 15-1 and it's PPR format, so just keep that in mind, which really wouldn't change a lot of these anyways, but there are some that are, I would say, obviously in the top of your list are it's your touchdown machines, your reception your target machines, receptions. So there you go. And I do
you have honorable mentions? Because I don't have any.
No, not one this time. I do have stay later for the show because I'm going to give you my top 5 my wild ass top 5, which I think will actually outperform my normal top 5. I'm going conservative on the top 5 that I have now.
Okay.
And I was telling you before the show, I was like, I don't think these are right. I was like, I don't feel right about these. So I went ahead and made the other list just to knock it out.
Okay.
So anyways.
All right. Number 15, TJ Hawkinson.
Hey, there we go.
And it's just, you don't know when he's going to come back.
You don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
Odds are he's going to miss at least the first 4 games of the season.
Yep.
He's dealing with a late ACL tear.
Yeah.
He tore it in week 16 because he only missed 2 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Just can't trust him.
They should have the quarterback situation figured out by the time he comes back, but
can't trust him.
I don't know.
Yeah. He's one I'm actually just leaving alone unless I get some crazy late in action on him where I could just pick him up for nothing. Then I'll go, but I'm not giving any.
At that point in time, I've already drafted another tight end,
yeah.
Right? And I'm getting him to stash to when he comes back. Now I've got a pretty darn good flex player, right?
Or if your guy busts or gets hurt,
right.
The tight ends, man, they take a beating.
They do. They
take a beating.
Who you got at 14?
Dallas Goedert.
Okay. I went Cole Kmet at 14.
Oh, okay. I like Cole Kmet too. I just figured I had to get Goddard in there, and I really didn't even like where
I've got Goddard a little bit higher.
Hey, you're a card carrying member of the Dallas Goedert fan club.
He's done right by me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and that's funny because that's how some of these rankings go. It's where have you been burned by this person? If they have, they go straight down. Or if you've been a fan of them, they've done well, then they move up the chart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cole Kmet, I just don't know. I don't really like him, but
I want to see who you didn't put in your top 15. It's probably the next guy that I got then. But yeah, you don't like him, but you don't know what to
my
do.
number 13, my next guy, I don't even know why he's in there.
He's got Pat Fryer move.
But it was just.
That's what
all the rankings I was looking at, he was in there, and I'm just like, but who'd you have at 14?
14, Dallas Goedert.
Dallas Goedert, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can tell you. 13, I got Brock Bowers.
Okay. I put him up. Everyone talks about how to hype him up and stuff like that. I go, you know what, though? You're not getting top 10 action. I gave him a higher spot than that. But it's why?
I don't know why.
Exactly.
Like,
The hype got to me, but I'm not putting him in the top 10, and this is my way to rebel.
I feel like
he's a guy I'm not even drafting. I'm not even drafting this guy.
no, he's nowhere on my radar.
Yeah, I put him
but
30th. I don't care.
I think he's been a lot higher in a lot of the rankings that I've seen, and I don't know. I had to put someone there.
Yeah, I guess.
Right.
I'll put him down as where you have him there.
Who do you have at 13?
Freiermuth.
Okay.
And he could be higher. I just was like, you know what? Let me throw him in here. There's some places that have him lower or not even really at all. But I'm like, Pittsburgh could be fine.
I don't really like Russell Wilson.
Could be fine.
So
well, they'll get him out here and get what's his name in.
Justin Fields, yeah. But we'll see when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Number 12 is where I got Dallas Goedert.
Okay.
So just a little bit higher than you had him. I like him. Guy's good. He's just got to stay healthy. Right. If he was someone who could stay healthy, I think he would definitely be higher. He is a guy who can definitely finish higher. But yeah, I like him at 12.
I mean, last year Goddard finished 14th. He played 14 games, had 83 targets, 59 receptions, 592 yards, 3 touchdowns. It's funny you just mentioned Cole Kmet as well. He finished 8th in PPR formats. Played 16 games, scored you 181 points. I mean, that's a big difference between those two dudes too. Had you 6 touchdowns. You know,
I think the receptions will be there for Cole Kmet with a rookie quarterback getting some dump offs and things like that, little security blanket. But I don't know if the touchdowns will be there.
I mean, you're gonna 5. You think he'd probably get 5?
I'll put him down for 3.
3? Okay,
3. All
right. Big target in the end zone. He does have a lot of targets. So he's got you got great receiving core, good backfield. So can he get it done?
You got
I said good. I didn't say great.
I was talking about like old, but Keenan Allen's old. DJ Moore, I mean, he's not real old, but he's been in the league for a minute.
He has.
And then the rookie.
Yeah. It is what it is.
You got a 12?
Number 12, Dalton Schultz.
Okay.
Slid in right there.
A little bit higher.
I probably could have put him at 11 or I don't know about 10, but high-powered offense. I think he got too many names out there. He did pretty well last year, though. Oh, Jesus. I clicked off of it for like 5 seconds to talk about something. He finished 10th last year. Only played 15 games, though. 88 targets, 59 receptions, 635 yards, got you 5 touchdowns, 152 points. Solid year. I mean, he beat Dalton Kincaid by 0.2 points.
Okay.
So, yeah.
11. Who you got?
11?
Yeah. It's around 11 now.
Brock Bowers. Yeah, Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers, okay.
Yeah.
I got David Njoku at 11.
Okay. All right.
You had another receiver out there. Maybe take a little action away from him with Jerry Jeudy going over there. Amari Cooper. I don't know. And again, I'm just not sold on Watson.
Yeah.
Just not sold on him. And you don't have Flacco to bail him out this year.
Yeah, he had a hell of a run. That was a great end of that year. So there you go. There's 11 through 15. Like I said with Brock Bowers, I guess I gave in to the hype just a hair. I was like, I got to put him in here somewhere. I was like, he's not on a great team. I mean, is he that great of a player? I mean, yeah, he looked good in college. Who the hell's throwing the ball out there? Football player, man.
Minshew or Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, I mean, if Minshew's there, I can see him probably. I feel like he's going to score some more points. He'll score more points, I think, than Aiden O'Connell's going to give him. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't do it. So here's our top 10. Let's get into it. Number 10, I had Jake Ferguson in Dallas.
Okay, I had him a smidge higher.
Yeah,
I got Dalton Schultz at number 10.
There you go. So old Dallas.
It's funny because like when I was doing my rankings, I did my top 2, and then I did number 15, and then I was like, okay, where am I going from here? And the 4th player I put on my list was Dalton Schultz at 10. It's like I didn't know anything else about anything in there. I just knew that Dalton Schultz was number 10. Like, I don't know.
It's weird how that works. Yeah, I just Yeah, Jake Ferguson should be just fine and dandy. He's going to get his targets. He's going to get a fair share.
He's going to be the number 2 target out there in Dallas.
Yeah, and then what's his name? Just retired. Or no, he was at the Raiders. He was
ex-Cowboy.
Ex-Cowboy. He was out there. But yeah, I mean, he should be able to get his. He should be his number 2 target. You're right. I mean, maybe number 3. Brandon Cooks. He did get action last year as well. So I don't know.
Not that much.
I just didn't want to put him in lower. But the guys I have in front of him, I think their ceilings are just way higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 9, I got Dalton Kincaid.
Okay.
And he's a guy that I can see move up for sure. It just depends on how they're going to use him. Buffalo in the past hasn't used. Well, yes, but are they going to use him as more of a traditional tight end or as more of a receiving tight end? And Buffalo's kind of gone back and forth on that with their tight ends.
Well, Knox was.
And you still have Dawson Knox there too.
Well, he's on his way out though. He's pretty much done. But he was.
But Josh Allen still trusts him. So.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was Kincaid pretty much took over last year, but yeah. You said number 9. That was your number 9. I got David Njoku.
Okay.
I was like, this guy, he did just fine last year. We'll see. I mean, he finished 5th. He only played 16 games. That was the other thing about it. He did 100. He got 123 targets, 81 receptions in 16 games, 882 yards, scored just 6 touchdowns, 205.2 fantasy points. Very nice. Average 12.8. So I mean, he's got the production. He can get there. But the names I got in front of him, I like just a little bit more. Okay. This guy's gonna ball out though.
All right,
and you get him some later rounds. You're gonna have to spend a pretty penny to get him.
No.
Which is one thing I like.
8. I got Jake Ferguson there at number 8.
Okay. Feeling a little bit better about the Cowboys, I guess.
Well, it's. I think they're gonna throw the ball a lot because they don't have a run game. You've got Zeke and you got Rico Dowdle, so they're really gonna rely on Dak to throw the ball a lot, and Jake Ferguson is, like I said, I expect him to be the number 2 receiver. What's up, Lizzie?
Lizzie, hello. How are you? And I always click off of stuff. I was like, I need to quit clicking around.
You click too much.
That's what gets me in trouble with all these clickies. Too much clicky. So, all right, that was your number 8, Jake Ferguson?
That's my number 8, yeah.
All right, number 7, who you got?
Well, you didn't give me your 8.
I didn't?
No.
Oh, Kyle Pitts.
Okay, wow.
Cuz 2 chains. But the other guys I got, I just like a lot more. But yeah, he should have a hell of a year.
8.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing him play. Man. And I have everybody else on the Atlanta team ranked higher, but I've been burned by Kyle Pitts in the past. I was on the I'm not doing it again.
He's not your real dad.
No, he's not. Finished 13th last year, 17 games, had 53 receptions. You know what's crazy? He had 90 targets, 53 receptions. So either it was wildly inaccurate.
Well, he had 2 of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL throwing to him last year.
667 yards, 3 touchdowns, which you expect that number to go up, obviously.
I expect everything to go up. I mean, you had Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke throwing to him last year.
Heineke, why can he get stuff done in Washington at certain times?
Well, he had a better team / coaching staff. Well, not even necessarily a better team, better coaching staff.
Yeah.
Better organization.
There you go.
The Falcons were just garbage under the previous regime.
Now I wonder how high you got.
We'll see. Well, so I expect question marks from you on like my 7 through 1.
I mean, we're gonna go through the rest of this, but we're gonna have a serious conversation about my alternative top 5 because we're gonna have a little chat about it. Anyways, so number 7
and number 7, and I don't even like putting him here. I want to put him lower, but
Trey McBride.
Yeah. I got Trey McBride.
You got all negative about it. I knew exactly who you're going to put.
I don't see it. And all of a sudden, everyone's like, well.
You know what I mean?
When
you don't like Kyler, right? You don't like Kyler, right?
When did we start feeling good about Kyler?
But you used to draft, who was the guy out there who's going to be the governor of Arizona? I can see him with the braids. He was your guy for a long time.
Jesse the Body Ventura?
No, not him. He didn't have freaking braids. Who was that receiver out there that you loved to death?
Larry Fitzgerald?
He was there while Kyler was there, and you still loved him then, too. You didn't just rank him last because Kyler was still there.
I understand.
Is it because he's from OU, or is he little, or you don't like him, or is it double XP weekend? If it's double XP weekend, I'm benching everybody.
Exactly. So it's just he's shown that he doesn't want to put in the work, or it's just
he came back last year and he looked good though.
He just doesn't have it. Okay,
doesn't have it.
Can we just agree that he's not if he was going to succeed, it was going to be under Coach Bro.
Okay, I got you.
Because Coach Bro loved him. That was his guy.
Yeah.
Coach Bro got the job because of him.
They threw Josh Rosen out just trash. He goes, just get your things and leave.
In their defense, he was trash.
We don't know. He could have maybe, you know what? That might have wrecked his mind completely. He got there and they just said, get lost. And all of a sudden he's like, I don't know what's going on. Looking around
it's like Will Smith at the last episode, just looking around after everyone leaves. I
was like, oh man.
I don't know. I don't feel good about Kyler. He just hasn't shown. He's not as fast as he used to be, right?
Yeah.
He's older. He's slower.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't like it.
Cool.
I don't like it. You don't like it? Oh, well, deal with it.
Yeah.
Make your own rankings.
I'll talk more about him later. My number 7, I got George Kittle.
Okay.
And I could see him going obviously higher, but I like the other guys in front of him. George Kittle got you. He finished 6th last year.
I got him at 6.
Okay, nice. 16 games, 90 targets, 65 receptions, 1,020 yards. He's a big play guy, though. He broke off a lot of play.
I'm going through receivers. I'm only like, I think I'm on episode number 3. I think I've only watched the first 2.
Do you play like a drinking game with it? Like every time he says you hit me in the balls or hit me in the dick, it's like you take a drink because he always getting wrapped. Unless he was like, what the hell is this deal? I go, well, most guys try to wrap him up. They're smaller guys trying to get them, so they try to go low, and so end up just kind of punching him in the junk. They don't wear cups.
During that first part was when they played the Cowboys, and he went on. He had the career high 3 touchdowns, and he's like, "Man, I should have had 4 or 5 touchdowns." But it was like 3 catches, 3 touchdowns.
Oh yeah,
and he had on the F Dallas shirt and all that, and just
I like his vibe.
He's good times.
Yeah,
he's a fun guy. His wife seems really cool.
Does she seem like a nice, cool gal?
She seems like a nice lady. They got the George Kittle party bus. It's got the picture of him on it. That they drive to every game. Like, come on.
Yeah.
They have a good time.
I feel you.
So I got him at 6. I like George Kittle.
The guy still got it. I mean, he's a threat. And
he's a glue guy. Yeah. He's a big play momentum guy. He's just
it's hard to bring down. He's a big play guy too, and also like you said, he can get you 3 touchdowns on 3 catches in a game. You know what I mean? So I'm with you on that. My number 6, I got Evan Ingram, and
that's shocking for me.
Well, I'll give you the spin afterwards
because
later.
every time I see you talk about Evan Ingram, you just got this raging boner. Okay?
Oh, dude. I love Evan Ingram.
You don't talk about your wife the way you talk about Evan Ingram.
I had to be. I had to talk myself. My other self had to talk myself out of not doing it because I'm going to tell you we're going to go through the other rankings later. But anyways, he finished 2nd last year. I take this guy every freaking year. He had 143 targets, led the league. Had 114 catches, led the league in tight ends, obviously. 963 yards, 4 touchdowns, 234 points. And he doesn't get the credit. Like everybody talks about everybody else except for him. And I was like, you know what? I like these other guys this year, but yeah, I didn't go back and copy and paste and throw him in front of these other 2 guys because I probably should add him 4th at the bare minimum. But there he is, number 6. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, number 5.
Oh, yeah, top 5 time, people.
And it pains me to put this guy this low.
Sam Laporta, or is it Travis Kelce?
Mark Andrews.
What? You're insane. Like, you are absolutely insane.
He just...
We were just talking about it. Like
injury-wise.
I mean,
right?
Yeah.
It's an injury thing.
They don't hip drop tackle anymore.
They don't, but he's getting older.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
I like him still.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no slight putting him in top 5. I just think the 4 guys above him are all going to have better years.
This dude finished 15th last year, playing 10 games. He had 45 receptions for 544 yards, 6 touchdowns.
This is a guy I draft every year.
6 touchdowns.
You don't have to make an argument for him. Man. Yeah, I told you it hurt me.
I don't appreciate the disrespect.
There's no disrespect.
I mean, you got him. At least you kept him at top 5.
He's my top 5.
But I'm like looking at him like, all right, so which one you want to get in the top 5 here? But I can figure it out.
I mean, you should be able to.
Yeah, I figure it out. So, but yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
Big fan. My number 5, I went Dalton Kincaid. I just think he's gonna pick up where he left off last year. Dude got it done. Dawson Knox is kind of moving out of the way. About to retire. I think did he retire yet, or is he about to retire? It's one of the 2. Like I think Dawson Knox is done.
He's still
Dalton
playing.
Knox. But Dawson Knox. I put the L in there. Dawson Knox for some reason. Dawson.
Just think of Dawson's Creek. I don't want to wait.
Well, see, I got those 2 things confused. Oh God. But yeah, no, I think it's Kincaid's year. He was a great pickup last year. If you were following the show back then, we made a short about it, talked about it on the waiver wire as well. I was like, this is the guy to pick up. I think when Knox broke his pinky or fingers or index finger or something like that. Anyways, here you go. Number 5.
Number 4. Who you got?
My number 4 is Trey McBride.
Okay.
So I went in, I put him in there. I actually felt like Kincaid should have been above, and this is where I tell you that I could have very well, I should have put Evan Ingram above these other 2 dudes, McBride and Kincaid. But McBride, he played 17 games last year.
I can agree with you on that.
He had 81 receptions, 825 yards, 3 touchdowns, 181 points. He was right there. And I think with your little fella coming back.
Hey, my little fella.
Murray coming back, I think his numbers is going to skyrocket. You know what I mean? He had to play with a backup quarterback for most of the year. So, okay. But yeah, I think his ceiling's quite high, but I still feel like I should have went back and changed it.
Just if you just want to point out to me all these other tight ends that have thrived under Kyler Murray, because I can't name one other tight end that's played with Kyler Murray.
Who's his other tight? Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz played for him. He was a pretty good little fella too. Yeah, scored some.
Not with
scored some
the
points.
Cardinals.
No, that's where he was. He was with the Cardinals. Did he play over there for like 3 or 4 years? And then went to Philly, or was he in Philly first?
He was Philly first.
Yeah, and then he went to Arizona and played a couple years.
Maybe two.
Maybe two. Okay.
Got cut last year.
Yeah, he was getting old.
Like, I think he only played like maybe one full season with Arizona.
That was it? Just
and
one?
And that was the year Kyler blew out his ACL.
Who am I thinking of then? I don't know. My memory sucks, so go back and look it up yourselves.
Number 4, I got Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
I just, with Cuzzo there.
So you don't have an arrow next to his name anymore because he's already ascended to as high as you're going to let him go, right?
I mean, he could definitely go higher.
You think so?
For sure. I mean, I think he's got the talent that T.J. Hawkinson had, and T.J. Hawkinson was a top 3 tight end.
He finished 4th last year.
You know,
by 0.4 points. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Right behind Travis Kelce.
And was missing 2 games.
Well, Kelce only played 15 games as well.
So
had more receptions though, 94 or 95. Excuse me.
I just like Kyle Pitts this year. Yeah. I just think with everything that's happened there in Atlanta.
As long as he's healthy, man.
The inability for them to not use any of the offensive weapons there, but you haven't had a quarterback, and now you've got a quarterback who can definitely produce yards and put up numbers. Great things out of Kyle Pitts this year.
You think like they're all just gonna? The hype is so real that like what is going to be the disappointing tipping point? Like where they're not scoring, like they score like a touchdown or 2 a game. Or something like that, or Kyle Pitts flops again, or Drake London flops, or somebody. Because apparently the only piece that was missing was a quarterback, like you said. And now they got the quarterback. Well, hopefully he's healthy. Hopefully
I don't think it's just a quarterback. I also think it was you had a bad coach in there.
Bad coach,
Right.
Yeah. Call terrible plays. Didn't utilize Bijan and stuff.
Right.
But you got great receivers, great tight end.
You draft Bijan Robinson so high, and you're just like, you just go sit down over there, little buddy.
Don't worry about it.
We're gonna.
What's that guy? I can see is Tyler Algier. We got Algier coming in.
Which he's no side against Tyler Algier. I like him. I think he's a good ball player. I think the Cowboys. If the Cowboys traded for him, I think that'd be a good move for the Cowboys.
I don't know why they don't. Well, they're mismanaged. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
It's weird. Top 3, baby. Top 3.
Number 3, Evan Ingram.
Okay, nice. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, you put him a lot lower than I did.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm telling you right now, I should have had him this high.
I like him.
Yeah.
It's going to get you a lot of receptions.
Yeah.
Talking PPR.
Mm-hmm.
So
hopefully, I mean, it's tough to reproduce that many targets, but then you go and look and see who's on the. There's no one there, right? Christian Kirk's the other notable name, and he's not. He's fine on the outside. He's going to run down the field pretty fast and whatever. He's going to stretch the field, and he's going to open it up Evan Ingram a lot more. But yeah, you're talking 114 receptions, 963 yards. He only had 4 touchdowns, which one thing we were talking about him. He finished second by 1 point, 1 freaking point, and then everybody else has him like 6th, 7th, 8th. Whatever. I appreciate the respect that you're giving him because I should have moved him up to 4th, possibly 3rd. But my number 3 is, I got Mark Andrews there because I had to. Because he got hurt last year, yeah, but he's a stud. He's going to be right back in it again. Just catching those touchdowns, getting them going down the field. It's going to be awesome, man.
I put him at 5, and I love him.
Yeah.
I have this feeling in the pit of my stomach.
He's going to get hurt again?
That it's just not going to be a good year for him.
Yeah. Well, you got bad instincts anyway,
and so. I hope I'm wrong. I really do, because I love the guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
I end up with him every year.
Yeah.
Because he's worth it to me. All right.
Did I get him last year? Or did you get him? I think I got him last year or something like that. And then I was like, oh, man. I was like, damn it. I don't have to look it up. But, all right. So top 2. Here we go. It should have the same 2 names. It should be in the exact same order, to be honest with you. Number 2, who do you got?
Travis Kelce.
Mr. Kelce, Kansas City man. Mr. Taylor Swift.
Yeah. He's good.
He's good. Yeah, he is good at football. He played 15 games last year, had 121 targets, 93 receptions, 984 yards, only 5 touchdowns. That's one thing we were going back and checking out and looking at his past where he was doing 8, 9, 10, 11. He's a touchdown machine a handful of years ago. And obviously things have slowed down. Last year was a hell of a dip for him and Mahomes. I consider Mahomes a bust in fantasy aspect. He didn't perform nowhere near where he should have. But
I mean, I went and took him high last year because I didn't want to worry about a quarterback last year.
That's what I did.
And I kind of had to worry about a quarterback last year.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't really have to worry about it. I got good production out of him, but I didn't get – I took him in like essentially our first round in our gangster league.
Oh, you had him in the gangster league?
Right? Because you have your keepers, your first round.
Yeah.
And then I took him that next round because I didn't want to worry about it. I had a late pick in the round, and I just said, I'm just going to let me just knock this out so I don't have to worry about quarterback this year. Because I always draft a quarterback late in that league, and, maybe I should have done it again last year. But here's the thing that I like about Travis Kelce is you've got more offensive weapons around him this year. I like Hollywood on that team. You got Xavier Worthy that they drafted. You've got Rashee Rice at some point in time. He's going to miss some games. You just don't know how many. So I think that's going to take a lot of the pressure off of Kelce as far as the coverages he's going to see. He's not going to see as much attention because there's more people for teams to pay attention to.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, think about it. It's like they didn't have to guard anybody last year. MVS was just slapping the ball up in the air. The safety was going to catch every freaking time.
Kadarius Toney was.
Yeah, that's who it was. And, MVS scored the game winner. But anyways, or the Super Bowl winner. But, yeah, no, Kadarius Toney was just slapping balls up in the air and stuff like that. It was a train wreck of a season for, it really wasn't even Mahomes' fault. Most of it was actually his receivers were just awful. But this year they have receivers. They have talent. And Travis Kelce doesn't have to feel like he's got to do it all. And he won't be the focus, but he'll be able to get his fair share and open it up a little bit. And, if they're in the red zone, what's going to happen. And
he's playing for Tay now.
Yeah, there you go.
Say what you will. He played better once they got together because he's got to perform.
Got to bring something to the table.
He's got to bring something because let me tell you, she's bringing a lot to the table. Okay,
money. I mean, nothing really else, but yeah, she's a nice lady from what I can see. I don't know her personally, obviously. Number one, obviously, we've already gone through all the names. Our top 15. It's going to be Sam Laporte out of Detroit. We were talking about him earlier. 120 targets, 86 receptions, 889 yards. Led the league in touchdowns as far as tight ends go. 10, had 235 points. Again, Evan Ingram was 1 point behind him. They both averaged 13.8 games, 13.8 points a game. He's on, same team, same whole everything, right? Except for the Reynolds ain't there, but he's still going to get his.
There, but Jameson Williams is going to step up this year. I'm predicting big things out of J-Mo this year. Laporte is going to take a step forward. As great as his year was last year, I think he's just going to have a better year this year. I just love Detroit. I mean, I'm a Detroit. We're in a Tigers hat, right? From Detroit. I love the Lions. Unapologetic Lions fan, but they've got the talent there, and they've shown that they can produce.
So this is why we differ a little bit when it comes to these rankings, because I was like, as I told you, I was like, I don't feel this is right, and I don't feel like he's going to go forward. I don't even feel like he's going to stay the same. I think he's going to regress because, looking at how the league was kind of divvied up last year, right? Nobody was really above 6. You had a bunch of tight ends that got 6 touchdowns and things like that, and he got 10. He jumped leaps and bounds above everybody else. So if the averages and whatever come back around and he regresses just a hair, he's going to fall 5 positions. We were talking about removing, say, 4 touchdowns just to make him average touchdown, right? And it's like, he falls down to 5th or 6th. I'm like, okay, because his receptions wasn't top 5. Or was he top 5? What were we talking about? 86? So he's about 4th, I think. And then in yards, he wasn't top 5 either. So it's like, okay, what if he comes back down? That's why I was like, you know what? I need to make another list. And I did. I made it real quick. I was like, here we go. And that's what I want to talk about. I got McBride and Dalton Kincaid, number 5. I just put them both in number 5 because I know you don't like them anyway. So I just threw them out at the bottom. But I was like, okay, but this is where they can hang out. They can hang out number 5.
So you got 2 guys at number 5.
2 guys, A and B.
Okay.
5A and 5B. And I moved Travis Kelce down number 4.
Okay.
I was like, it's that time. It's about that time.
Okay.
He starts falling. I mean, he finished 3rd last year. He's probably going to finish 4th, maybe 5th this year.
Okay.
I don't see him going up. His son's not going up. It's going down. Okay. And then I got your boy Sam Laporte at number 3.
Okay.
And then I was like, because like I said, I don't know if he'll duplicate these numbers, especially with everybody else having say 6 and obviously more yards and more receptions than he did. So it's like, okay, we'll average all that kind of stuff out. But I was like, number 3. And then I put Evan Ingram at number 2. I was like, this is where this man belongs. Okay. I really appreciate you putting it at number 3 too, because I really believe it. And I tell you what, every freaking year, and I love Evan Ingram, I do. And then, but I did put. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, I put Mark Andrews at number 1.
Yeah,
I was like, I had to. I was like, dude, he's the only reason you have him lower is not the production like that, but you're just worried he's going to get hurt again, which that is a serious concern, right? You have to. And these, like we were talking about, these big fellas, they're getting tackled weird, but they took one of those illegal the hip drop tackle kind of out of it to protect these guys a little bit more. But how was it? Was it a year or two ago? What was his ankle? He hurt his ankle again or hurt something back then too.
2022, he played 15 games.
Yeah. So he's getting
2020.
When was the last time he didn't play 15?
2020, he played 14.
Played 14?
Yeah, played 17 in 2021, 15 2022.
Okay. So his full season was 2021. That was the last time he played a full season.
Yeah.
Good. So anyways, but yeah, I feel like Mark Andrews is just going to blow up this year. I say it every year. I put him third in my rankings for the primary, but for my crazy rankings, I think he's going to go number one. Or be number one, finish number one. Because the dude scores touchdowns like Laporta does, right? He already had 6, and he only went through 10 games. He had 544 yards in 10 games. So I feel like he's the guy out there. That's just what it is, right? He's going to be getting the targets in the right. Now, I said if they got too close, though, Derrick Henry was going to snipe some TDs away. But you reminded me that any running back out there snipes TDs away from tight ends that close to the goal line. They just fall in. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter who it is, but they just take away, just nip. And they'll sometimes have games where there's 3 running backs, each with a touchdown. Yep. So, but that's what I'd like to see Mark Andrews come back strong, healthy, just ball out. Because
I would love to see it.
The guy's amazing because you're going to take him. You're going to take him.
Am I?
If he's sitting there, because if I start chirping about him, and it's like, where did I say he was going? Let me take a look at it real quick. So he's tight end 4 in some rankings and whatnot. Oh, where is it at? I had it on here, but anyways.
Or do I jump early and take Laporta?
Now, with that, how early would you take Laporta? Like, are you talking second round?
Second round.
Because the only tight end, I don't know how long, how far you want to go back, but the only tight end I ever remember being drafted in the first round was Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
I mean, 101. Well, that's a keeper league too, but then also in normal leagues because he was scoring tons of points.
Yeah.
So, hold on. I'm going to do overall. I'm going to see. Because I looked at this up a minute ago, and all of a sudden the thing's gone because we talked about it. But yeah, I don't know how far down. The same report, number 27 overall. So you're talking middle of the second round if this goes to plan. Early second, mid second. Yeah. I mean, you're obviously in. You just said because you're in the second round, right?
Yeah.
Well, 27th, you're already at past the second round, so you're damn near in the third round. So it's by the third round. Now you're in.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be sold it.
Third round. If I can get a tight end that's going to produce wide receiver numbers, yes, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
It's really something that really helps set your team up for success when you have a tight end that's going to produce those wide receiver numbers.
Well, where did he end up? Hold on, I want to see something real quick. Just because I was like, okay, because when you said wide receiver numbers, I'm like, okay, well, where did he actually finish overall? And I can give you right there. Let's see, Porta.
I don't know, man.
I got you. Because I want to look it up. I definitely. I'm looking it up on the fly. Man, I don't even see him on here. I got all players, wide receiver, running back, tight end, 2023 season. Like, I'm trying to find out. He must not be in the top 25. At 26. So he's not giving you those numbers. You know what I'm saying? He's not giving you wide receiver 1 numbers. He's giving you a wide receiver number, yeah, but like more like, Debo finished above him, Ayuk finished above him, Pittman, Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, Nico Collins, Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase had a terrible year too. Devontae Adams, things like that. I mean, I don't see any of these guys on this list that you would take him over. Maybe you'd probably take him over DJ Moore this year, obviously.
Yeah, I would.
And Keenan Allen because they're on the Bears.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but that's it.
I'm predicting a down year for Keenan Allen. So
I mean, yeah, you've been on that horse for a while now.
No, I haven't.
But yeah, for me, it's like, how soon am I going to take him? And here's my answer to that: I don't plan on getting Sam Laporta in any of my leagues because I think the hype is real. And people are they're gonna go after him. They're gonna go after him like Travis Kelce. This is the same vibes as Travis Kelce 5 years ago, 6 years ago. You know what I mean? They like, I got to get this guy. And then you go and look at actual, the numbers and things like that. It's like, okay, well, not necessarily. You know,
I mean, but
he's
you're
not
saying
leaps and bounds above the other guys.
But you're saying he's finished number 26, right?
Yeah, well, I just did it by our thing and then clicked by fantasy points out of wide receiver as a flex, if you want to call it that. Yeah.
26. So drafting him in the first 3 rounds is
It's fine.
that's where he slotted.
It's right there. That's where he finished.
So don't tell me you're not getting the production out of it, because you are. You are getting the production out of it.
Well, not like when you said out of my, like, say, wide receiver, you made it seem like a wide receiver 1, possibly a 2 or something like that. It's like, no, not really. You know what I mean? But the next guy up was, was it 7 spots below him, 6 spots below him, Evan Ingram, and I get him several rounds later. That's just what I'm saying, though. I'm not going to pay the price for him anyways, because everyone else is going to pay that premium. That's just a guy I can't go for, because I'm not going to get him I'm not going to go for him obviously in the first round. A second round, no, I don't think so.
Late second round?
No, I'd have to do like you know what I would. Here's how. If I was on the turn,
if you're on the end, you would wait and take him in the third round just to say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's as far. But that's the thing. There's no way, I think, in most leagues, looking at ADP and looking at the rankings and things like that, I don't think he'll make it that far. I don't think he'll make it to the third round. You know what I mean? And I don't want to pay second round prices for him. Now, Travis Kelce, yeah, I always said I would, and I have. I'm fine with it, but I haven't done the last couple of years because I'm like, nah, man, it's just there's not that leap, and there's not that giant gap between him and all the other tight ends like there has been. Remember when Kelce was scoring 100 points more than the next guy up? Now there's a handful of tight ends that score a ton.
There's him and there's Evan Ingram.
Well, I'm talking about scoring a bucket of points.
20, I think it was like 20 points after that, right?
No. Travis Kelce scored 221, so that's 14 points. Hawkinson scored 221. You know what I mean? You're talking 20 points, maybe 30. And
you're not going to get that production out of Hawkinson this year.
Yeah,
it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying though. But there's a cluster of guys that do that, right? And now it's not like it was with Kelce. There was nobody else. Like you're like, oh, I'm just going to stream tight ends this year because there's nobody else. But this year, and like last year, there's that cluster of dudes, which actually makes it, I think, a little bit more fun. But yeah, for me, I just can't pay the premium. Oof, I can't do it because he's going to go in second round. I'm surprised you're not going to get there and already have the name and everything already written out on your book and be like, sauntering up there and just slap that sticker down. Because like you say, our league, technically we start in the second round.
Yeah.
But there are some guys that you're like, I don't have nobody else on my team. I got to keep, there's some crazy keepers in our league. But yeah, there you go. There's our top 15. Fantasy just makes you crazy, man. We're this much closer.
It's fun, though.
We're this much closer.
I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. It's good and good for you.
I don't know about that.
Why not?
Some people go out there and they just don't know how to act.
They just don't know how to act right?
Like, not even a little bit.
They're just like, you know what? I'm out of here. But that's our top 15. What do you guys think? Where'd we screw up? All right, Busby, where did I lose you at this time?
Busby, you agree with my second list. I know you do. That second list is solid.
Like a solid number 2.
Solid.
Like a big giant turd. But let us know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you. As always, I'm Alan.
I'm RD.
Talk to you guys later. Deuces. Thanks for listening to the SB Fantasy Football Podcast.